My question is, sir, this only. If you look at it and you look at it at a holistic level, you had Jai Shri Ram chants. The Prime Minister refused to even once. I've gone through his entire speech, once chant Jai Shri Ram. Vande Mataram happened at least over 7 times during the course of his speech. Spoke in Bengali. Is there an attempt right now to connect on a sub-national level instead of going with what the powerful course has been for the BJP in Bengal till now?
Well, to an extent, yes, because in this election, when BJP is going into it, it is really a powerful party. It has a robust organization. It has money and now also manpower in the state. In a situation like that, if they have a problem or have an issue, that is like having a face. I would say that their leader in the state, which is Dilip Ghosh, the party president in the state, he has done considerably well over the last 5 years when he came. I mean, nobody knew him. From there, he has become a representative face of the subalterns in the state, particularly the indigenous population and the Dalits. He has come up. But even then, he is far behind the Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee. I mean, she's definitely undisputed leader at this stage. Now, BJP's other leaders, they have either come from, those who are the face in the election, are either come from Trinamool Congress or they are coming from other states. In a context, in this backdrop, Trinamool has got this Bohiragato angle, the outsiders, because they clearly realize that that is the weak point that they have. And if you look at the history of Bengal, people from the last 100 years, as we discussed once, from C.R. Das to Subhash Chandra Bose, to Ajay Mukherjee, the CM in the 67, to Mamata Banerjee, people, they always look for, the son of the soil kind of thing or the daughter of the soil. Right. So in a context like that, they are invoking these people. I mean, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, even if his philosophy goes against BJP's philosophy, or Rabindranath Tagore, or Vivekananda, or many others, they're all from Bengal. They had to do it because at this point, they don't have overarching face.
Right.
But obviously, they have other advantages, and we can discuss that as well.
All right. One more question, Mr. Bagchi, before I go into our next story, which is, of course, the whole CBI angle concerning the nephew of Mamata Banerjee's wife. But before I go into it, on a lighter note, there are many, many questions that is being asked, and I'm looking at my Twitter feed. One question which continuously is being popped: is Narendra Modi going for the Tagore look where sub-nationalism is concerned? Because when you saw him today with that flowing white beard, are we the only one who's making these assumptions, or is it for real? Is it, by design?
Well, there is a discussion. I mean, there has also been comparison with Periyar of Tamil Nadu, and this has been going in the social media for a while. But I think, there's a different connect, a different way. I mean, I look at it. That is, Narendra Modi is just not, or this country perhaps is just not looking at Narendra Modi as just a political leader. Mm-hmm. He is positioning himself as something bigger than that, perhaps the prophet of the community, perhaps bigger than that. Right. He is aligning more himself with that kind of an image that he is projecting. Right. And that has an advantage because on the other side, you have the political leaders. So if you can project yourself as a political leader / a religious, right, someone who is connected with spirituality, then it is an advantage in politics.
Well, if it's Tamil Nadu and it's West Bengal and Periyar and Rabindranath Tagore, the optics could work if you're looking only at optics.